Well, thank you for joining us once again on our Wonderful Day in the Lord broadcast. We have been spending the last couple of weeks talking about the mysteries that are found in Scripture. Now, remember, a mystery is basically a secret, something that we would never know had God not revealed it to us. And the mysteries that we find in the New Testament are exactly those. These are things hidden in the past that was unknowable to humans or even to believers prior to the revelation given to us in various places of the New Testament. There are at least 13 mysteries mentioned, distinct mysteries mentioned in the New Testament, and we're working our way through those. We're going to look at three more of those mysteries this week, and then a final one next week. So I hope you hang in there with us. These mysteries tell us something about the issues of life, the things that you and I and all of humanity have questions about. And the one we're looking at for the next 2 or 3 days will be the mystery that deals with our resurrection and our body and what we'll be like after this life is over. Even those that do not know Christ, and even those that pretend to be atheists sometimes, have some kind of an idea that there's got to be something more after this life. And the question is, what will that be like? What will we be like later? And the picture of that, although it's talked about a little bit in the Old Testament, is pretty much fleshed out in the New Testament, and it's one of the mysteries we'll look at. We're going to start with 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and we'll see in verse 51 this mystery. He says, "Behold, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we'll all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. For this perishable must put on the imperishable, and this mortal must put on immortality." So he speaks here of the mystery concerning what happens to us after we have passed away, and or after Christ comes back. What will we be like at that time? Now I'm going to go back to the book of Daniel. In Daniel chapter 12, we have what is probably the most comprehensive teaching in the Old Testament concerning the resurrection from the dead. Contrary to what we might think, this subject is not brought up very often in the Old Testament. Maybe 2 other passages distinctly deal with this. Psalm 16 and then one time in the book of Job. Beyond that, there's not a lot said about resurrecting from the dead or life after death or the future in that way. But Daniel chapter 12 gives us some information. Here's what people knew prior to the New Testament. It says, "Now at that time Michael, the great prince who stands guard over the sons of your people, will arise. And there will be a time of distress such as never occurred since there was a nation until that time. And at that time your people, everyone who is found written in the book, will be rescued. Many of those who sleep in the dust of the ground will awake, these to everlasting life, but to others to disgrace and everlasting contempt." So the Old Testament taught, and the Jews knew this, that there would be a future for people after this life. That one day there would be a resurrection from the dead. They thought of it as a general revelation, or a resurrection, that would have 2 components, you might say. For the righteous, there would be everlasting life, and we would be rescued. For the unrighteous, there would be everlasting contempt, or what we would understand as eternal condemnation or judgment for those who have rejected the Lord. So that's what the Old Testament taught, and that's pretty much what the people knew up until the New Testament. So when we come to passages such as this one, we find that we're talking about a mystery because what is being revealed here was not revealed in the Old Testament to this extent. They did know there would be a resurrection. They did know that the believers, the righteous, would be rewarded, and the unrighteous would be condemned. But they didn't know what we find here. That is he's talking to the believers here. We will all be changed. At that moment, at the last trumpet, it says, the dead will rise imperishable, speaking of believers, and we will be changed. So we're going to have a new body. And this perishable must put on the imperishable, and this mortal must put on immortality. So the mystery here is the body that we'll have in eternity. We knew there would be a resurrection, but what would that resurrection be like? And now we know that we will have a new and resurrected body at that moment in time when the Lord comes back for us. Now, tomorrow we're going to go a little further and take a gander at what that body looks like. What is it that we know about our body in eternity? So you follow us tomorrow, and we'll pick that up. You have a wonderful day in the Lord.